All right, let's start again. This time we want to look at how to add pictures to the points that we put in our maps. So I'm going to start out by making a map, and I'm going to call this map. Let's see. I call it High Atlas Foundation Projects, and I'll make this number 2. Atlas Foundation Project 2, and say OK, and save all edits, and save the last project I was working on. So let's go in here and open a new map. And while it's loading, all right, so then I'm going to try to find an area of Morocco, and that is by going to map and going to locate. And for locate, let's start with Marrakesh. There it is. And we'll do Marrakesh Safi because that's the region that we're working in. So there it is as a map. And I don't really want to use that as my place. What I want to do is find and locate an actual location where the High Atlas Foundation is in the city. And I don't know if they have that. So let's go in here to maps.google and let's see if we do High Atlas Foundation Marrakesh. What does it give us? It does give us there. It gives us a location, and let's see if then High Atlas Foundation actually shows up here. So if I am looking, and it does show up on Google Maps, so maybe it will. Foundation. Aha, there's one in New York, and there's, oh boy, so there's one in New York City. We don't want that. So it looks like the registered address is in New York. So even if I did High Atlas Foundation Marrakesh, or Marrakesh, yeah, we're not going to see that. Am I spelling it wrong? No, it doesn't show up. So we're not going to get any love there. We can try to put in Marrakesh itself, Marrakesh, Morocco, and we get several locations in there. It should be somewhere down in here. If we could find the street, then we could locate it here. And so the street here is called Boulevard Mohammed VI, as you can see. So that's about all the information we can get, unless it would give us, I don't know if you can use the latitude and longitude in this. If you could, that would be great. So we can try. It did. All right. So that's spectacular. So there it is on Tazij Bab. How do you pronounce that? Tazji at Bab Ihil. So that's where it's going to be. So now that we have that High Atlas Foundation marker there, we need to add to it, and I think there's an A and a B and a C. They're all the same. So let's come in and take that and add a graphic, and that graphic can be the, how do we edit that graphic? Graphics layer, symbology. No, we don't want that. We want to edit it, perhaps? No. Insert? No. Graphics. There it is. In graphics, we go down and add a triangle, and we make it a little bit bigger. So I'll make it 20 points, and my color for it will be a dark green. And then I can deselect by going to, I guess it's just clear selection there. All right, so there's that little marker there for where the High Atlas Foundation building is. That's great. Let's also, now that we are on this, let's save, by the way. Always should save. Let's make the map an image map, but let's make it an imagery hybrid. And there you have the roads in the imagery hybrid. And you can see that this now looks remarkably like the, let me close this. There's our thing. Actually, that graphics layer we should call, well, it is a graphics layer, so call it graphics layer. Or actually, let's call it locations. Right, so we have locations. I'm not happy with the color because it doesn't show up easily enough. So go back to the graphics layer, go back to the graphics, and let me select this. And then let's change this from green to yellow so it can be seen easier. All right, and I also see what the problem is here. I picked a 2-color one that's got the black on it. I don't think I want that. I just want a simple triangle that will show up in, I'll change the fill to yellow, and there's no stroke on it. All right, that's not even a good color either. Can I please just get a good color? So maybe we do purple. Yeah, purple shows up. All right, fine. There we are. And that looks a little bit like what we saw on the Google map. It's the same area, right? There it is, with that big Place de la Jeunesse over there. And there's Place de la Jeunesse. And there is our location. All right. Then another thing is we were showing in the earlier video that I was working through, you can start mapping certain features onto it. So if you wanted to get the footprint of the area and the park, you would go in here and you would find in your catalog, which you have to find by going to the view, and then make sure that you reset the panes for mapping, and then the catalog shows up over here. And if you go in the databases and you click on the High Atlas, on right click, say new feature class, then we can say the areas of study and make this a polygon, and we can add a field to that. And we're going to make this name of building or name of location, or yeah, just name of building for now. We don't do more than that. And we'll say finish. And when we've done that, what does it want from us? Next. And finish. Creates a feature class. There it is, areas of study. And for that area of study, I think the color is not what I want for that. I want to have an area of study. I want that to be a kind of pinkish thing with an outline color that is black, and make the outline width a little bit bigger. And then when I'm in that format, this is an uncommitted, do you want to apply it? Yes, I do. All right, then in the area of study, if I go in here to edit, I can go to create and take that area of study, and then I can come over here and make this area my area of study as a polygon, right? And then finish it. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that. So we do it again. All right. So there's my area of study, and then I come down here and commit to it, and the area of study shows up. First thing I want to do when I'm in there is I want to go to my feature layer and make it transparent by about 50%, so I can still see the buildings through there. And then if I want to add to this something like a tree, then what I can do is go into here again and make a new feature class, and I can call it trees because, as the High Atlas Foundation says, plant a tree and the rest will follow. So I can say trees, and from that I will go into points, and from points I will go and add in here a tree ID, which would be an integer, and I'll create a tree name or tree type, and that can be text. And then go and add that. But finish doesn't show up, and that's because back here on the first page, it wants us to commit to the change we made when we add the polygon. So click on that. Now you can go to finish, and you have a tree feature class that comes in over here. And I would make that a greenish thing, if you like, because they're trees after all. And I'll move the size up. And then that's what I'll get, is a little dot like that. And I'll say apply. And then when I'm going to go and create my tree, when I'm here and I go to edit, create, I can pick trees to create, and now I can start dropping in trees that we want to identify. Okay. It looks like there may be some trees over here, and over here, and over here. And then you could even make a proposed tree that you could drop in there. But that's the trees that are being mapped out so far. And there are other symbols that can be used for this under, I think it's, let's see where that is. You can go into trees and you can say go to symbology, and when you click on that you can say, well, I don't want a single symbol. What I want the symbol to be in the gallery. If I type in trees, there's a lot of different tree symbols that you can use. So I'll use an oak tree just for the heck of it, and then I'll go into properties and make that size maybe 15 or 16 point, and apply that. And then, yeah, then you get these tree things. Enable scale-based sizing maybe is better to do. So we go in, they get bigger. Not sure why they're so small. Apply it. Maybe you can make it bigger. Scale-based sizing. So there's our trees. I don't know. They're getting pretty tiny. So I'm not sure if there's a. There we go. Now we get a little bigger. All right. So we start adding trees to the landscape, and now we have our trees in, and we have our area. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to add pictures to this, and to add pictures, what we do is we come to the trees area, or actually let me add another database area. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to right click on new and say feature class, and it is going to be photographs. And I will make the photographs into an annotation, I think. Or it can be point. I think we'll stay with point, and we will go to, we have to commit to there, and we will go next, and we will add a field called photograph description, and we will then finish this, and we have a feature class called photograph now that we can add. And when we go to photographs and we right click, we go to manage, and when we go to manage we go to attachments, and then we say okay, and now we have photographs attach. And when we photograph attach, then we should have the ability to attach photographs to these. So we go to imagery maybe. Give me a moment here. All right, so let us then, having our photographs layer in here, select photographs and go to edit and create a photograph point. So maybe we want one outside the building over here. Again, these are not good points there. Let's go to the symbology and let's make that bigger because that symbol is really lame. How do I find the right way to do the symbol? There we go. Let's make the color a deep sort of purple red, and let's make it as big as we can so it's easy to see. And there it is. All right, so we want to be able to put information in here so that we can get our picture into there, but we also want to make a couple of other points for that. So once again, I am here and I'll say, okay, I want a picture there. I'd love to get a picture of the square there. And does this have any attribute table information? Let's go to the attribute table and let's see. It has a global ID, the photograph description of this one, and this one I need to get out of here and go into Explore. And now when I click on this one, you should be able to get different objects showing up here. It's not doing it. It's stuck on this one here for some reason, and it's not. Oh, there we go. Let me edit. So this should be the Place de la Jeunesse. All right. And what about this next one? That one there would be the High Atlas Foundation office. And then as for this one here, I'm not even sure where that is. I thought I only have 2 points in there. So don't have that, so I'll just get rid of that. Delete that row. All right, so we've got 2 different points here. High Atlas Foundation office and Place de la Jeunesse over there. And now we need to work on getting the pictures in that we want to put in. So what we want to happen is that when we are on map and we hit explore, we want to be able to click on a button and we want to see photographs of those areas. But right now that's not happening, although you can tell by looking at the layer. Photographs has a photographs attachment table, and it has a photographs attached relative thing. The question is, how do I get those photographs in there? And it didn't seem intuitive to me, but actually it's not so tough. What you'll do is click on or select that area and go to attributes up here. And then you'll see that this photograph, number 3, has a place for attachments. It has attributes, it has geometry. So attributes says Place de la Jeunesse. It has attachments, and there are no attachments yet. So what would you do? You would go, for example, to an image base. So let's go to Place de la Jeunesse, Marrakesh. Obviously, it'd be better if these are your own photographs, but for now, we will take Place de la Jeunesse and get a representative photograph for it. Maybe just that one there. That'll be interesting. Doesn't really show. Let's look at Google Maps for a second though, because often what you can do these days, of course, is just go into a street map view and go to Photosphere and then see if they have anything in there. So here are 3 photos that people have put in here. Well, let's start with this one here. It's a little video, I guess. That's not ideal. There's a 360 photograph that you can go around. Doesn't look very appealing, does it? And then there's this one here. Maybe this one here is the best one for right now. So we'll take this picture here, and because we can't download it, I don't think. No. So I'm just going to do a screen grab and take that picture of the Place de la Jeunesse and go to it here and save as and put it in my data D and put it in a new folder called GIS Photos. And this is Place de la Jeunesse. One. Maybe they'll be useful to get another one. Let's see. So I didn't like what they had there, but Place de la Jeunesse. Do a Google search, go to some images, and see if there's something else there. I don't know if that's the same Place de la Jeunesse. Let's go again to our map and see what. There's a park there. Maybe that has some interesting pictures in it. Not a lot of pictures there. Isn't that interesting? Just those for that. Well, then we will just take this one just for the heck of it. Just for the sake of ideas of what we can put in. So take that and save it. And call it Place de la Jeunesse 2. All right. And coming back to here now, when we go to attachments, again, remember that we were selecting something and opening up the attributes, because the attributes normally would be closed. So you open up attributes, and then under attachments, you would add and then find that picture, which I think is in GIS Photos. Oh, did it not end up in GIS Photos? Maybe it didn't. Let's see where it ended up. I'll type in Place. There's one of them. Let's see, I should have another one. Place. I don't even know where I saved that. It was in here. I went to Save As, and it was in Data D, Place de la Jeunesse 2. I wanted to put it in GIS Photos, so I'll do this one in GIS Photos. And then when I hit Add, I should be able to find it then. And go to Data D, and go to my GIS Photos, such as they are. And there's the other one. All right, so now there are 2 attachments in there, and I've added them in. And so what should happen now is that when I go to Maps Explore and I click on this, there are my photographs, 1 and 2. Okay? So it is definitely there for you, and if you double click on it, it'll open up nice and big. So you start annotating that. And let me see if I can do one for the High Atlas Foundation. Again, go to, let's see if I move over to here, to the foundation, and they have that as the picture. Let's see, there's that picture there. And is there another one? Seems that's the one they have. So once again, I'll grab this, picture of it, save it. Just to make sure I'm saving it in their HAF. one. And let's see if we can find another picture of the place. So there's all of these pictures here, mostly of clothing, but there is a picture of the team, of the staff. All right. So we will take that picture and save that. Just say HAF visit, group. Now, of course, we can keep adding more. I mean, we have the ability to place into our map anything we want. It's got a nice little HAF signal symbol. So HAF discussion, for example. All right. So when we get back to here and we go into our attributes table and we look at what we can add, it's not this photograph anymore that we want to add to. It is this photograph here. And that one is got for its attribute High Atlas Foundation Office. Again, there's 0 attachments here, so we're going to add attachments. We're going to add the HAF building. We're going to add the visit group and discussion and drop those in. Now we've got 3 pictures in there, and we can close this attribute table. We can save our project, and when we go to explore the map, wherever we are, we can say, oh, you know what? I want to know what's here. Click on that, and then you see that picture, and that picture, and that picture, which we can enlarge as we like and see. So this is how you add attributes, and you can really add anything you like. You can add pictures. You can also add documents. When you're in the attributes, it's all about what you're loading into that. So if you go here and you say that you want to add a document, you could add a document. So for example, let me go to my own Google Docs, wherein I have a doc called Solving the Greywater Dilemma in the High Atlas Mountains, and it's got a bunch of maps on it. And if I take that document and I make it, download it as a PDF, wherever that goes, that is, all right. And let's see where it ended up once it finishes downloading. It is in a folder called Downloads, but let me take it out of there, cut it, and let me go and put it in our GIS photos thing just because it's a little easier to find. All right. So then when I'm in my GIS, I can select that as an attachment, and it'll be another attachment. So now, assuming I'm working on my project from my computer where it's accessible, when we click on this, then we see there are photographs, and there should be also a document. Oh, why there isn't a document is beyond me. Maybe I need to do something else about that. Close this. Let me try this again. I know that the plus here does have these photographs, these two. Fine. If I click on here, maybe it doesn't show. No, it's not showing that. Nonetheless, somewhere in here there should be information on this. Certainly when I go to attributes, I have that document that I can access, and I can open up the PDF from there. So that is up to me. So if I open it up with Google Chrome, it's attached to my document, and there it is. It just doesn't show up unless you find a way to open it. All right, so that is how you add pictures. If you also wanted to show a species of tree, for example, let's just supposing that one of these trees here was a pistachio, and it's not, but let's supposing that it was. Then what we would do is go to the trees layer, right? And we would open up the attribute table. And whoops. And we'd say, well, maybe they planted a pistachio tree near the office. And that would be this point here. And we'd say tree ID, and maybe we'd give pistachios an ID of 1. And we would say pistachio. And then if we had another tree over here and it turned out to be a lemon tree, let's make sure we're on that one. There's that tree there, this tree here. Sometimes you have to go in and actually select the tree. That one there. Okay, so that one there. So supposing that one was a lemon tree, and we give that a designation of 3. If you wanted to show what these trees looked like, so that might be the pistachio, that might be the lemon tree, then you would have to go in here and you'd have to add this to the geometry, to the attributes, because we don't have that available. So once again, you would have to go to the catalog and go to trees and right click and say manage, and then you'd have to say has attachments and say okay. And it says it's being edited, so it doesn't want us to do that, so I'd have to close this table out. Now I go to trees and I go manage and add attachments, and it's still being edited, and I guess we have to then save our project and we got to go back here and we need to get out of the editing mode. So that is being edited. I need to deselect, I guess. So how do I deselect? I go to feature layer. No, I go to graphics. No, I go to edit, and I want to deselect. So clear the selection. There we go. Now it should work where I go to trees and I go to manage and I say attachments and say okay, and it says it's still being edited. So why is it still being edited, I wonder? That I do not understand. That shouldn't be happening. So maybe I need to be out of edit, maybe because I was in edit mode and I need to be in explore mode. And now can I do it? So if I go to my view and I go to my reset panes for mapping, and now will it let me do it? Manage attachments. Okay. No. Table is being edited, but I am not editing any table. That is bizarre. How is it saying that table is being edited? What if I don't want to be editing? Can I get out of the editing mode? That's a question. Get out of the editing mode. How do I get out of the editing mode? Map. I'm going to edit it. Figure that out and be right back with you. Let's see if it's just a simple matter of saving. Save all edits. Now that I've saved them, can I go back in and right click and manage and put attachments in? Yes. So it was just a matter of hitting save or discard here under edit, and I had not either saved or discarded my edits. So now that I have an attachment for photographs, and I have an attachment area for trees as well. So if I go into trees now and I go into attributes, and it says select one or more features, and I say, well, all right, then I want to select that tree there. I should go to the selection tool, which is here, and then select that tree. There it is. Oh, I don't want the whole area. I just want that tree. All right, trees. And that is, I'm calling a pistachio. I don't know that it is, but I'm going to pretend it is. Now I have attachments 0, right? So I can go and find a photograph of a pistachio tree. And find the best picture I can. of the tree. I want to have a plantation. I just want a single tree so we'd see what it looks like. Now, if you do a save image as, if it's a WebP, you're kind of, I think, out of luck. We'll try it and see, because my impression is that WebP does not display in GIS. So we'll try it with that. We'll also try this one here and see if it's also a WebP. It's a JPEG. All right, so JPEG. Let's see if they both work or if they don't work. So pistachio, JPEG. And we go now to here and we say attachments and add. Let's go for this pistachio and that pistachio. One of them is a JPEG, the other is a WebP. We'll go into it. And so now when we go to save that, and when we go to map and we say explore, when we click on that, yeah, you get both of them. So it does look like WebP's work, but then you can get an idea of what a pistachio tree actually looks like. All right, so you can start to give illustrations of any point in any database. This one here that we looked at does not have anything yet. So if I go to select and select that tree, then you'll see there are no attachments there. The attributes of it are, it said it was a lemon tree. So if it was, then you would go and find a lemon tree. Maybe lemon tree Morocco, just to see if it's the type that would be found in Morocco. And let's see, maybe something by a house. Looks good. All right, so again, save image as, and serve lemons is fine. Maybe you want to show people that the lemon trees are, what the aspect of a lemon tree is. Maybe we'll go this one too. It's an orange tree in Morocco. So that doesn't work. Those are, yeah, something like that. Okay. And save the image as, and just call it lemon. Go back in, and here in your attributes, click add, put your lemon and your preserved lemon. And now those are attached. You can close your attribute table. Make sure you go to edit and save. That was our problem before. And now when you're in map and you go to explore, you're moving around, you're saying, oh, that, I don't know what that has no data on it. But this one here does have data. Great, it's got some pictures. And this one here has lemon tree data. So you can begin to illustrate different aspects. The idea of an attachment can be put onto anything, even the area of study. If you wanted to, you could go again, click on it, right click on it, go and manage, put in attachments, and now that has now an attachment table. And that means that when you go to attributes, if you try to find it out of trees and instead look for layers, no, not layers, I would have to go, I'm looking at trees by mistake. So that's not what I want attributes for. So what I want attributes for is the, not trees, but I want the area of study layer. That's the one I want to get to. I've already created the attachment area for it, but I need to click on it here, areas of study, now go to attributes, and you see it should say, no, we're still stuck in trees. Why is that? What do I have to do here? Do I have to click on it under explore? There's that. So I want to change the selection. That, there we go. Just by clicking on two selection, there we go. So there's the High Atlas Foundation attribute. Should be in there. It doesn't have any attachments. I think that I've got the, those are the trees. I don't want that. I want the area of study. So I guess I didn't even put in the name of the buildings. That should have been High Atlas Study Area. Something like that. So now for attachments, if I go to the High Atlas Foundation, And maybe it's there, I don't know. Or maybe I just want to put one of their workshops. So a lot of different things you could put in there. Maybe just this picture here, interfaith multiculturalism and sustainable development, and take that and save the image as, and call it HAF workshop. But the point of it is that you would then go in here and you'd add attachments, or apply those edits, attachments, and then put that in there, and then that'll come up so that when you're exploring, and make sure I save, bingo. Right, now go into map and go to explore, and there's a tree, but here is, no, it didn't work. There it is. Okay, so when we click on that, we get that picture there that we can go for. Right? Okay, so attachments can be added to any feature that you like. That is the point of this, and I hope that that helps. Next adventure is going to be explore how to get digital elevation map information in here, which is going to be great when we get into the mountains way down in here near Thomashoot. And we are going to, let me go back and search, we are going to get topographical information for Thomashoot. There it is. This is where we're going to jump into next to try to get some topographical information. We're also going to go look at City La Fatima. City Fatima El House. That's another area. So when we want to do that, you find the area on the map and then right click and say add graphic, and then go to your graphics and find a triangle or something that you want to put in. I just lost my graphic. I thought I just had it. Graphics, there it is. So pick like a triangle and choose a size. I like 20, and a color, and then you have that, and then you can deselect clear selection. So there's that one there. It's one of the sites they work in. The other one, as I said, is Thomashoot in Al Huz, Morocco, and it brings you up there. And then once again, go and add a graphic and make that graphic so that you can find easily. I'll make this one a square, and I'll make it 20 points again. And then I have that area, and deselect. So we have these locations that turn on and off. And so when we zoom out, we can see we got Marrakesh up there, we've got Thomashoot down there, and we've got City El Fatima down there. And this has extreme topography. And that's why I want to be able to now get a DEM, because I want to know if somebody was upstream of this area, for example, if they lived up in this valley here, or if they lived upstream here and they started washing their clothes, where is the pollution going to run? And we do that by using a digital elevation map. So we'll come back and we'll look at the digital elevation map and see how that works. Thanks for watching.